Hi everybody, my name is Shannon and welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. Today is Sunday, and Sunday I have been setting aside some time to do crafting to give to others, right? Just being generous with my time, my energies, my resources, supplies, creating something with my own hands. And I love doing that because in my world, when you look at it, so many people, all they do is tear down with their words, their actions, their deeds, something along that line. I don't have to tell you how much one small biting word can just play over and over in your head like an earworm. So I try not to do that. I am not perfect. I'm not perfect, but I try not to do that. And I try to do things that would be along that give and back. And I got in the mail this week, I got something from the American Starfish organization. So if you've been around for a while, thank you so much for supporting my channel all this time. And if you're new here, welcome. Let me tell you about the American Starfish organization. This organization is an organization for veterans. Here, you can go ahead and try to scan that while I talk if you want. Okay, so it's an organization for veterans, and they're trying to end chronic homelessness. So they've got this camp, right? Here's like this outline of this camp and everything. And last year, they were looking out for washcloths for their hygiene station, different types of washcloths. And I made a bunch. My goal was to do 2 a week. Doesn't sound like a lot. I have no idea how many I sent, 40, 50, I don't know. I sent a lot of them. And they were collecting them all the way until Veterans Day, which I thought was quite appropriate. And right now, if you're so inclined, they're collecting hats up until around February time period. I'll have their information down below. But I got this wonderful card as a thank you when they got that donation. I'll read it because it's not anything that's like private and personal. So this is Shannon. Thank you so much for all of the beautiful washcloths. I love all the patterns, colors, and how soft they are. I can't wait to pass them out at the hygiene trailer. I hope you had an amazing holiday season and your new year is off to a great start. Thank you again for making a difference. Love, Heather. Isn't that nice? So I got this handwritten thank you card and everything. I thought that was wonderful, but there was something else in the envelope. I had this cute little organza bag. And in that, I haven't even opened it out of the organza bag. I really haven't. So in that, we've got this, you make a difference, you make a profound difference. And there's a beautiful poem on the back. And along with that, look at this. So it's the American Starfish. So you've got little charms. So I've got a starfish charm. Isn't that pretty? And the American flag charm. And then on this, it says, may you be proud of the work you do, the person you are, and the difference you make. I thought that was wonderful. That was such a nice gift, completely unsolicited in any way, shape, or form. Just me trying to give back to the community. I'm a veteran myself, and do something wonderful. And to get that thank you card back was just spectacular. I'll have their, like I said, I'll have their information down below. Feel free to follow it. If you're so inclined to help out in any way that you can, go for it. And, if not, do something in your neighborhood. Like I said, a kind word goes so far. Just that one small, simple gesture. Even if you think you can't do anything, you can provide a kind word and that will make a difference. So that was completely and totally surprising to me. Just absolutely beautiful. If you've been around, you also know I've been working on making children's blankets for Camp Boggy Creek, which is in Eustis, Florida. You've got a group of wonderful YouTube content creators that are collecting these blankets, and they are taking them, hand carrying them to Florida. So Nancy from She's Got Yarn Too, she's going to be taking them like early February. Her goal, all blankets to be received to her in Florida by 31 January. And they are doing box openings and things like that. I'll link the this last week's, I think it was on Thursday, video down below, and they tell you how many blankets they've collected and how far they've gotten. And they are down to like 37 blankets from doubling last year's donations, which I think is wonderful. I have 3 completed. I am still working on some more. Let me show these to you. And I got some clarification, not really clarification, but if you saw this one last week, the colors, man, I'm telling you, I love the colors. They're kind of growing on my husband. Not really, not really. He does not like the brights like this. For a kid, yes. For him, no. I might have ordered some yarn. It's not here yet. We'll talk about that later. It is freezing here, Colorado. It is freezing. Got up and everything, and it was like -7. Feels like it was -9. Feels like -20. Like, you know, the dog wanted to go out and then doesn't want to come back in, so I had to go out and get the dog. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. So I'm really in the blanket mood. Let's put it that way. I mean, like I'm cuddling up underneath something a little warmer. So I've gotten a little farther on this one, not much farther. I've got the black line there. I think I might put the second one right here, you know, that with that, you can see that 2 rows right here. I can put it right there in the center, put a black line. And I think that'll be really nice. On the Thursday's video where you had Nancy from She's Got Yarns Too, Billy, the Crafty Floridian, and you had some other content creators, but you also had one of the people from Camp Boggy Creek. And I asked them if I would be able to sew on a couple of buttons because I have these really cute cars, and I thought those here would just be so cute, and not a lot of them, but they said that they would really prefer that I didn't do that. If I get ambitious, I don't know. I could crochet something. I've got some thread. I've got some other stuff. If I found like a little patch, like an embroidery type patch, I could sew something like that on there. I love the idea of putting a car on there, but I'm going to respect their wishes and not sew the buttons on there, even though I really, really, really want to. I really want to, but you know, that's okay. A child will love this anyway. It is still bright and fun, and it's got baubles, and it's just, I love my baubles. If you're new, you haven't seen it, I love my baubles. I like the texture. I like all the fun stuff that just pop. My granddaughter thinks they look like flowers, and I think that's adorable. So I'm going to make the little bit more on the blue. I think I've got another 6 inches to go on this. I'm not sure. The size requirements are 35 to 40 inches wide and 40 to 50 inches long. So I'm going to put a few more rounds of the blue, or maybe not. Let's see, what do I have left? I have this left of this blue. Surprisingly, I don't have a bunch more, which is just crazy. I went through all my Joann's Big Twist, because that's what this is. And, you know, we had a coupon that was an extra 25% off, and then they had it for $2.49. It put it at $1.87 a skein, and I didn't get any. I know, it's shocking. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I might have had 20 or 30 of them in my cart. Yeah, I did. But I didn't hit go on that. I hit go on something else. Yeah, I still bought stuff. It's not here yet, but I did get the shipping notice, so we'll see on that. So I was a little bummed, I'm not going to lie, with not being able to put the buttons on. Again, it's okay. It's not mine. Let it go. So I had another crazy harebrained idea. Yeah, I can say it. I got that, right? Something else I wanted to do. So the blankets, this is my 4th full blanket. I sent off squares to Linan from Nina's Knots and Crochet, because she was crocheting a bunch together. And then a lot of people sent squares. She got like 5,000 plus. So she's, I think, going to have squares until like next decade or something. I don't know. But I did send her a bunch of squares, and she did already put some of them. I know, because I just did some dinosaur squares, and those were already in a blanket. I did see that. But she's already used some of those, and she's got so many. And then because she's overwhelmed, and what a blessing, she's offered to sew all those together for people like me who didn't want to. I just made whole blankets. And this is my 4th one, and it's crocheted, and all the squares were crocheted. But I really wanted to knit a blanket. I know knitting takes longer. I get that. I just, there's some insanity in me sometimes. And I just, you know, yeah, it was noodling in my brain, and it was driving me crazy. And I'm like, I want to do a blanket, and I want to knit it. Yeah, okay. So I gave in. Yeah. I'm at least doing it on size 8s, okay? So I didn't get, you know, one of the other things is I was like wanting to get one of my cotton cakes or something like that, but that's like a sport weight, and you need smaller needles. So I'm at least doing worsted weight on size 8s. I'm still doing the big twist, Joanne's big twist, and look at that. Oh my gosh, it's on the needles right now. Isn't that cool? So this is what was hurting my head, breaking my brain, man, breaking my brain. I didn't want to do a square. I know it's weird because with the size constraints, right? 35 to 40 inches wide, 40 to 50 inches long, right? So you got that sweet spot of a 40 by 40 square. Well, just, you know, I like to have that leeway of maybe 37 by 41 or something, you know, or 39 inches and you got it by, you know, 42 or what, you know, just not quite right, you know. I like that little bit of a more flexibility. So I wanted to do a rectangle. Yeah, I was having problems, and I also wanted to do it in the round because I'm special. Yes. So on the crocheted ones, I was able to, when I did my Virus Meets Granny, I was able to figure out the count and everything and still make it into a rectangle. It shouldn't be that hard. I made it so hard. Oh my gosh. I stood at a graph. I stared at a graph of a typical feather and fan or old shale lace pattern, right? For I don't know how long. And I was trying to get it in my brain on how do I make one side longer, but not too long, and then the other side shorter and make it work. I spent way too much time on it. And now I'm just doing it. That's what I did. I'm just doing it. So it's not really a pattern. It is a modified feather and fan going in the round, making it into a rectangle. Let me take these cute little, I've got some try-on cords, right? So I'm going to smash that on the, if you've not seen that before, I'm putting that on the needles if I can. I should have done this beforehand, but I didn't. I would have been smart. So putting that on the needles, and what that does is it gives me a little bit of a security, and then I can take the blanket off the needles so it's not just this, you know, bag type thing, and we can see, did I do really good, or do I need to pull it back? Because I've already pulled it back a good chunk once. I got off count. Yeah. As much as I like the feather and fan old shell lace, I still have to look on where I put my decreases. It slows me down, but that's okay. And I didn't do a good job of pairing up my increases and decreases for a few rounds, a lot of rounds. So this rectangle suddenly became pretty close to square. Like I had the same amount of stitches on all sides, and I knew that was wrong. So look at that. What do you think? I mean, you know, it's still on this little needles, but isn't that cool? Yeah, all of this pink right here down to the screen, I had to rip all that out because I had incorrect. And it wasn't just, oh, let me just add a stitch here or there. One side had 60 stitches and the other side had 64. There's supposed to be 12 stitches between the short side and the long side. Yeah, I did some bad stuff. So I don't think if I would have taken it off, that was going to lay flat. But I like the natural curvature that feather and fan is giving, and it gives the purple here just a fun, characteristic, interesting look. It's just fun. If I can't sew cars on it and I can't do something like that, I can at least make something that gives a fun and unusual look to it. I don't even know how big this is because this is the first time I taken it off and put it on, you know, the try-on course, which I'll have to continue to do to make sure I don't get it too big, too small, whatever. So just started this. What do you think of this one? And the next color is going to be a blue. It won't be this color because this is all I have left of this one, but it's going to be another one of the blues from Big Twist. And then I'm not really sure how I'm going to continue the colors. I don't know, but I really like this. I like that break up of the color and keeping it bright. I don't know if I'm going to continue with the in-between with the feather and fan right here with that hot pink. I might change it to one of the other colors. I mean, I'm doing different things. So let me get this a little closer so you can see. So I do have the feather and fan right here, and I have a purl row in between, right? You know, different spacings and purl rows. So I'm having fun with that. I'm doing that. And then you can see this one, I didn't put the purl in there. And then I did the holes like every other row, right? And then I did different down here. And then here for my start, and I love how it just overlaps. I really do. So for that start, I did the Judy's Magic Cast On, or following the tutorial that I learned from Arnie and Carlos when I did my Christmas stocking. So I did that right here and made kind of like a little toe, and then started working around it, and the natural shape of that feather and fan just flops over, and what an interesting design that creates. I think it is so fun. Oh, and then here's the back side. You can see all the different colors on that. I don't have my ends woven in. I'll get to it, but that's what I have going on because I'm on a time crunch, and instead of finishing the crocheted blanket and then packing it with the other 3 that are sitting in the box going, excuse me, did you forget about me? No, I started another blanket. Okay. I have this time crunch. So with the time crunch and everything, I'll probably get the crocheted one done. I'm not sure about the knitted one before the deadline. That is okay. They're collecting these again next year. Now, that doesn't mean continue to send them to Nancy, you know, after the 31st of January. That means hold on to them. And then I believe it's around August-ish time period, they start it back up. They ramp back up. So if this is the first time that you've heard about this and you've got blankets and you want to donate them, you can make them all year long. Just fit them in between your other projects. A couple rows here, a square there, whatever it happens to be. And you can donate it if you choose to. So this one I'm not concerned about getting done immediately, although everything in me wants me to. You know how that goes. The other one, I'd like to get that done. Before I put them in the box, I'll do a video showing all of them that I'm sending off, and I'll send those. They're all brights. They're all super bright, happy colors. These are not adult colors unless you're from the 80s. You know, these are kid approved. This one right here that my husband was like, he didn't really like it so much. My 8-year-old granddaughter, she thought it was fantastic. So it is definitely on that kid approved level. But those are my fun things that I'm working on. Have you done that? Have you done that? Like something just kind of hits in your head and you're like, I want to make it. This is better than I envisioned. It is. All I knew is I wanted to work in the round, some lace, a blanket, into a rectangle. The shapes that the natural feather and fan has given this, and the highlighted colors with the purple and the green, and I'm going to do blue after that. Can I do orange? What do you think? I don't think so. I have the bright orange. I think I might have some yellow, but I was looking at my colors. Anyway, I like the natural characteristics. This is so much better than I had envisioned by far. It is fantastic. What's your fantastic in your brain, right, that turned out better than you had envisioned? I mean, I'm just absolutely tickled with this, and I like that it's a rectangle. I don't know why I like that it's a rectangle, but it was very important to me that it needed to be a rectangle, to where I had my paper and my pen out and I was drawing pictures and I couldn't get it. It was totally me. I was having issues. I couldn't get it. So I just started anyway and went, I'm doing it. And there you go. That's it's so much better than I could have imagined. All right, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.